We happy? Vincent! We happy?
Yeah, we happy. Look.
One question that has always been debated by movie fans is what is inside the suitcase in Quentin Tarantino's Pulp Fiction. The two most popular theories are that the suitcase either contains the soul of Marcellus Wallace, or that it simply is a MacGuffin-like plot device that doesn't contain anything at all. Now, before telling you what I think, I would like to investigate both claims because I think both are valid and have plenty of supporting evidence.
No. We've been sitting there all serious and shit.
Man, I just been sitting here thinking.
About what?
About the miracle we witnessed.
Miracle you witnessed. I witnessed a freak occurrence.
What is a miracle, Vincent?
Act of God.
And what's an act of God?
When God makes the impossible possible. But this morning, I don't think it qualifies.
Hey, Vincent.
It was inevitable that many would believe that a soul was in the suitcase because Pulp Fiction is a surprisingly religious film that shows acts of God and lives being saved at the end of each of the three stories.
2.
Go.
Now, if you watch Pulp Fiction linearly, you can clearly see that Vincent Vega becomes a doomed character after he rejects the divine intervention that saved his and Jules' lives. After arguing with Jules in the car, Vincent says this important line to Marvin.
Marvin, what do you make of all this?
Man, I don't even have an opinion.
Well, you gotta have an opinion. I mean, do you think that God came down from heaven and stopped us? Oh,
What the fuck's happening?
oh man, man!
The gun misfire was another divine intervention in order to make Vincent believe in God and follow Jules' path of retiring from the mob. The second act of God happens the next day when Vincent goes to his friend's house to buy heroin before going on his date with Mia.
I'm giving you some out of my own private stash. That is what a nice guy I am. Out of balloons. Is a baggie all right?
Yeah, that's cool.
All right, just get one for you. Honey, will you get me some baggies and Twistix from the kitchen?
Hey.
Mia, thinking that it was cocaine in the baggie, suffers a heroin overdose that certainly would have ended in Marcellus killing Vincent if she had died.
I'm bringing this fucked up bitch into my house!
This fucked up bitch is Marcellus Wallace's wife. Do you know who Marcellus Wallace is?
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah.
Well, if she croaks on me, I'm a fucking grease spot. Now look, I will be forced to tell him that you did not help and that you let her die in your fucking lawn. Now come on, help me, pick her up.
But the missing balloons and Mia being brought back to life is still not enough to make Vincent stop his life of crime. The last act of God will finally cost Vincent his life when Butch's girlfriend, Fabian, doesn't bring his father's watch with her to the motel.
A thin slice of melted cheese.
Where's my watch?
It's there.
It's not.
Have you looked?
Yes, I fucking look. What the fuck do you think I'm doing? You sure you got it?
Yes, bedside table drawer.
And the little kangaroo?
Yes, it was on your little kangaroo.
Yeah, well, it's not here now.
Well, it should be.
Yes, it most definitely should be, but it's not here now. So where the fuck is it?
How could she remember all of those details and still not have brought the watch with her? It is my opinion that she did bring it with her, and by miracle it went back to Butch's apartment, where he would face Vincent and deliver God's punishment. For those of you that don't know what a MacGuffin is, it is typically the goal or object that pushes a film's story forward, but has little importance to the overall plot. The most famous uses of the MacGuffin plot device were in the films of Alfred Hitchcock, where a MacGuffin was introduced in the first act of the film, like the stolen money in Psycho, and then quickly discarded to tell the rest of the story. An argument can be made that Pulp Fiction was not trying to be a serious film, but actually trying to be a satire of the film noir genre and Hollywood movie cliches like the MacGuffin.
The idea for all three stories was basically to take, like the oldest chestnuts, that you've ever seen, when it comes to crime stories, the oldest stories in the book, Vincent Vega and Marcellus Wallace's wife. The oldest story about, the big man's, the guy's got to go out with the big man's wife and don't touch her. You've seen the story a zillion times. The gold watch, the second story. The boxer who was supposed to throw the fight and he doesn't. You've seen it a zillion times, all right? And the third story is not so much a classic story, but almost a big cliche. Like every other Joel Silver movie starts off with a couple hitmen showing up at a place and, shooting somebody and splitting. And then, that's like the first 5 minutes of the movie, and then, they cut to Arnold Schwarzenegger somewhere else, and then, it's all gonna tie in. All right? In the third story, in this one, it's like these two hitmen, they go and they take care of this guy, after they kill him, we don't leave. We hang out with them all morning long and see what happens to them during the course of that morning.
This satirical point of view would support the idea that there is nothing in the suitcase at all, and that it was just a cinematic joke by Tarantino. I personally think that The Suitcase was a writing exercise by Tarantino in order to show the audience how movie storytelling works and how to reveal character traits. It's not important what is in the case. What is important is how each character reacts to it. Both Vincent and Ringo see the valuable contents of the case and are tempted to steal it. And by contrast, Jules wants nothing to do with it and only wants to deliver it to Marcellus. Jules, at this point in the film, sees that all objects of his former life are evil. That is why he gives Ringo all of his money, and that is why the case's combination is 666. 666 has nothing to do with the devil in this context. It just is reinforcing how evil Marcellus is and his way of life. So that's what I think the case is. A very important empty plot device. But as long as Pulp Fiction is relevant, I'm sure it will continue to be debated by film fans.